Confirmed. There you go.
Welcome everybody to KWK Comic Con 2024. My name is Jeff from the Fully Posable Wrestling Figure Podcasting. Alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. And joining us, as always, the leader of the KWK brand, Sean Ing. Sean, welcome to Comic Con 2024.
Talk about crazy. Oh, we got a lot going on today, don't we?
Well, yes, we have a lot going on, so I want to jump right into it. I don't want to. We could sit here and exchange pleasantry all day, but I think it's time we need to get into some figures, right?
Mm,
So
absolutely.
let's kick it off. Let's start the reveals
Yeah.
now.
We got the first announcement.
Yes,
I have to start talking about this first because I think you guys are amped. I'm amped up. And the first thing is we have a new promotional partnership with Inside the Rope magazine.
yes.
So, this was done through Mark, Grapple Arcade for people who don't know. He has been the one that helped linking this whole thing. And boy, this is gonna be big because every single month we're gonna have print ads on Inside the Rope magazine, and don't be surprised there may be something more
So
later on.
are these going to be cartoon drawings? Are they going to be like they can order through the ad, everything?
Um, Basically, it's the actual print ad of KWK, which both myself and Max made together.
Okay.
So it's going to be monthly, so you'll get updates on the store, on where to order, and things like that. So definitely something big for us.
So this is going to be monthly. And when does this start?
It starts this month. In
All right.
fact, this latest issue of Inside the Rope magazine, you will see the print ad.
Okay. This is great
Yeah.
news. This is great news for you.
Oh,
I'm so excited for you.
yeah.
And then also a
Oh my
pro,
God. Yeah.
some more big news. Pro Mask line
hmm
and KWKTs. Let's go into those.
Well, ProMask is something that we are working on, and this is something that because we have a workshop that I work with now in China that has done um pro mask for CMLL during the pandemic,
Okay.
and we are now working with them as well. So the first two talents that are signed for the pro mask are going to be Yoshitatsu and also Samurai Dalso.
Oh,
So that's something that we're working with. Samurai Dalso, formerly known as Callisto.
yes. Yes. This is great news for you, man. You're branching out of the KWK brand. So this is great news. Pro Mask, and these will also be shown off in the Inside the Ropes magazine.
Yes. When the time comes, we will.
Okay.
When the time comes, we will. And yeah, this is something big, and we do want to branch out because we don't want to be just doing action figures and things like that. We
Uh-huh.
want to do different merchandise and whatnot. So, the shirt that I'm wearing now, I can show you guys. See, the Yoshitatsu t-shirt. Oh my God, I'm stuttering today. Yeah. Um, this is anti-shrink. So even if you throw it in tumble dryer, it really won't shrink. I mean, I have a 2X on me right now, and this is absolutely tremendous. The fabric is basically with the fabric itself, it actually is quick dry. So you're not going to be like, say for example, if you wear this going to convention or whatever, you're not going to smell and sweat very bad. So, this is one of those deals, which is, I checked with a couple of factories for that one, and this is the final one that we came back with. And I have to say I'm hyped for it. Yeah.
Wow, we are living in the future, aren't we?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
That is great news for you, man. You are branching out, like you had just said. As you can see in the images, the Pro Mask line, KWK
Yeah.
brand, and the website that this all can be found at is.
ShopKWK.com.
There we go. We're going to be saying.
We have something else coming soon, but I don't want to announce it until maybe next February.
Okay. All right. Well, if you
And
want
this one is and this one is going to be big. So I want to hold on to that one because we already have a packed event today.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
if you want to throw it out there, just go. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Not to.
No.
All right. All right. We'll save it because we got more figures coming up in this live event going on right now.
Right.
And in the big news, part of Series 1, it is time to reveal
The Comic Kid.
the Comic Kid. Yes. I'm so used to saying Max Moon, but Comic Kid, we got more figures coming up in this live event going on right now. As you can see, there is the Comic Kid. That is final packaging, correct?
That's the final sample. And as you can see, the packaging, the inside bubble, it hasn't been locked. But I already told the factory, and I'm going to be at the factory on Monday to Wednesday just to finish up everything with them for the Comic Kit. And I'll make sure everything goes smooth because this particular one, it was a rush job for them. So, I want to make sure that every little bit part of the detail, it's going to be as good as the Mantar and PNUs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see the arm gauntlets off to the right-hand side of the picture. Also,
Oh, yeah.
the chest piece as well, also off to the right side of the picture. And there it is. As you
I
can
have
see,
it right in front of me.
yes, if you can see you can see Sean holding up his prototype.
No, that's not a prototype. That's the actual loose sample.
Oh, that is the actual loose. Okay, can you send that my way, please?
Yeah. I may do something with these two actually, but we're gonna talk more about it. Yeah.
Okay.
One for Scott, one for Jeff.
Yeah. Please and thank you. All right. Also, here's variant B of Max Moon in the yellow. Now he wore this.
Comic Kid.
I apologize. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? But as you can see, you Comic Kid in the yellow right here.
Right.
Variant B. He wore this in Japan, correct?
Yes, it was the New Japan version. So he went to New Japan while he toured there. I don't believe he has actually worn that in the US like ever.
Mm-hmm.
Not through my conversation with him that he has even told me that he has worn them in the US. So, this is very limited. It's, as you can see, it's only 150 made. And the blue one is only 350 made. So these are rare.
Highly
So
collectible.
don't be surprised they're going to be gone like really, really fast because I know for one thing, we don't have a lot of the remaining ones.
And
I can tell you guys this much.
And for everybody that pre-ordered these, when can we expect them on the doorsteps?
They are expected to be out of the factory by Wednesday, and that's why I'm heading down to the factory on Monday to Wednesday just to finish up everything. And they will ship over to me within 4 days, I would imagine, usually something around that time. So once I get them, I start shipping. So yeah.
Okay. So everybody be looking forward to these on your doorsteps here shortly. We're excited about these for the Comic Kid. See what I did there?
Yeah.
As I said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I'll tell you.
So there's for scale.
Just so you guys know, I mean, I've already sent over the money to Paul Diamond. So yeah, as of yesterday. I I didn't want him to wait any longer because we have had difficulties with this particular figure because of the mechanics of the gauntlets of the arms.
Mhm.
And we did so many fixes on them to a point where I was just pulling my hair out with factory.
Okay.
So right now I can say, we are very, very, very close now
Okay.
to get these out.
Also, we wanted to show a picture of scaling between the
Yeah,
Hasbro and your KWK figure of the Comic
yeah,
Kid.
yeah.
Uh, these are perfect in scale with Hasbro's.
Yeah, completely.
Right.
So everybody can have their dream matches, but we don't recommend taking them out of the package, right?
Well, we don't.
Well,
The two of us.
I mean, a lot. I've been told that there are a lot of loose collectors
What?
who, yeah, there are a lot of loose collectors. Like, they were just like, hey, you know what? Don't matter.
Bunch of
So
savages in this
yeah,
town.
yeah, but I'm gonna say this, because it was a quick job because I was pushing them so I could have them for this event. So you can see some of the paint work. The lines are not as great. So don't worry about it. I'll make sure that the paint lines will be much, much better than this.
Well,
Because I'm gonna be on hand there and like, literally pointing fingers at them and go, look, you guys gotta fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that. So
well,
I want it to pop.
well, it looks fantastic. The figure is amazing looking. I love the accessories that come with it for the Comic
Yeah.
Kid. So can't wait to have those on our doorsteps. But now we need to have one of your team members come on. His name is Max.
Right.
Let's have him come on. But he is part of the packaging team.
Let's get through. Hold on.
He literally handles every single card. So yeah, and he does a lot of stuff. From the cards to a lot of the different graphics and stuff like that. So he wears a lot of hats, and I do have to say, right now, kind of past his bedtime, but he's gonna be all right.
Looks like he's in now.
All right, Max, are you with us?
Hey, show yourself. Where are you at?
I'm here. I'm trying to figure out.
That's okay. I hear it's past your bedtime out there.
Yeah.
There's Max. Hey,
There we go. There it is.
I got some KWK stuff going on behind your left shoulder. I like it.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett too. Max, welcome to the show, man. You handle every card, man. You do, huh?
Yeah, I did.
By the way, how is it working with Sean?
I mean, working with Sean is like great, and I've known him
Just
since
be
like
just be honest. Just be honest,
I
man.
mean,
he's getting a bonus
know
for
how
this,
much
isn't
I
he?
drove you nuts. All right.
he's nice. He's really nice.
You know what? I like what you're doing there, Max. You're playing it cool. You're keeping it PC. I like it, man.
At least Max's name is not Factory Manager.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was just telling him about what happened. So yeah. Oh boy. But that's a different story for another day.
Yes.
Max, what has been your biggest troubles with the packaging? What's been the hardest part for you, man?
Definitely those like pictures of the wrestler, those portraits, like because like many wrestlers they don't have any pictures. For example, the Comic Kid, the variant B, the yellow ones,
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of like did like multiple versions of like the yellow ones. Yeah, because like there's only one picture that's available is from a Japanese magazine, and that
Yeah.
one wasn't even like from a
It-
good angle, you know?
Yeah, it was kind of off to the side, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good job, man. It's not an easy job, but
Thank you.
respect the hell out of you for doing it.
Oh, for sure. And we got some of his work to show as well.
Hold on, Sean is showing off the.
I'm just showing it so just to show my appreciation to Max. and for his wonderful work because the packaging is coming out really, really beautifully done.
Yeah.
And I have to say, with and Max has a really tough job because available images for a lot of the wrestlers are not there
Hmm.
a lot of times. So we kind of have to work with what we got,
Right.
and for any sort of alteration or things like that. So even with the signatures and stuff, sometimes it can take us a while to find the right signatures on the package. So, those are some of the really, really difficult stuff. And not only that, Max is the only one working on the packages. That's where he's got a lot of headaches to deal with.
Got it. And Max, kudos to you on the job well done on these packaging.
Yeah, they look amazing.
Yeah, they look really
Thank you.
good. Kudos to you, man. Kudos. It's not an easy job. Somebody's got to do it, right? But Scott, why don't you go ahead and bring up some samples of Max's work?
Absolutely.
So, Sean, why don't you go into this one? It's 1 of 0. Is that possible?
This is
I'm joking.
okay.
I'm joking.
Sample.
Whenever we have the sample on, we always put 00 on because we don't know the final numbers until after pre-orders. So this is one of the versions for Rene Dupree of the La Resistance. So this is the mock-up packaging that we have for him.
Mhm.
And I don't even think Rene has seen the packaging, but he's seen the figure. So
Okay.
he absolutely love it, and you guys are gonna see the video afterwards of him talking about it. Yeah. So the idea. I mean, maybe Max, you can talk about it. I talk too much.
Max, why don't you go for it, man?
I mean, yeah, like so Sean sent me those videos from YouTube, like those matches
Mhm.
that they wore those gear. So I
Mhm.
have to like screenshot those and like Photoshop them. Like
It's
um
it's not easy, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Uh,
on, man. Why are you so shy when you talk to me one on one? You're not that shy, man. Come on.
Ah.
he's
Okay,
he
so like
he's
these
The
humble.
world
images
is
like
watching.
He's
might be
he,
copyrighted, so we have to add a little bit like effect
uh-huh.
onto it.
Hmm.
I think that's what the other toy companies are doing as well.
Hmm.
So we just took that, and I think from series one we never used that. I basically just like, for example, Yoshitatsu, the variant B version, the black gear, I had to like take the head from this picture. I took the arm from the other picture, and the I photoshopped the entire gear, like stuff like that.
You're
It
Mr.
took
A
quite a
you're
time to
you're
do.
Mr. AI over there, man.
Like now with AI is like way more easier,
He's Sean's
but
MacGyver.
like
He just
when
makes
I
it
was
work.
working on series one, it was not there yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Rene Dupree sample. Looks fantastic, man. You're doing a great job. Here is Sylvain Granier's figure is not shown there, but looks also fantastic, man. It looks really good. Is there any talk of maybe changing the packaging later on? Or if you have any ideas of maybe changing the packaging later on?
Yeah, that's what I've been like discussing with Sean
Hmm.
for like a few times. Like I was thinking like should I like change the entire layout for series two, but like then we're like maybe like it's too early because people might want to like display all of them like together on the shelf or like on the wall.
Hmm.
And we might also came up with like few more exclusive later that have like different packaging style, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Looks good, man. And as you can see right there, there's the Sylvain Grenier figure. There's also a TJP figure that we all knew about that's coming. And the Conquistadors. And it will have cape. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
Looks amazing, looks fantastic. Sean, you're doing some great work over there. Max, you're doing great work as part of the team over there as well. And so, as you can see, there isn't a 1 of 100 exclusive.
And Sean, those capes are molded, correct? Those aren't soft goods?
Those are not soft goods.
Okay.
Soft goods just, because if we're going to print the decals, we will have to recreate the entire decals and whatnot. So we thought the having it molded on will be a lot easier. Basically, as long as we use PVC, I think it's going to be fine. Most of our accessories are on PVC anyway, so they're kind of stretchy, so that will not be a big problem.
Okay.
Max, is there any, what's the hardest part like for, because we're looking at the front of the card, the back of the card too is not easy as it is, right?
Um, like in the beginning, like I had someone to like work with me together.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was like a month after I met Sean. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we met on a Chinese marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, like I know he's like working on this KWK brand, K-pop Heroes. And so it was like the day before Mantar's pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I didn't see any like mock-up images or like what's the packaging gonna look like? And he was like, oh, we don't have them yet. I was like, do you want me to try? Like, and so
Up until now, what has been your favorite figure from Sean's brand?
um, I'll say Comic Kid.
Comic Kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to give
So
love to that Mantar figure too. I mean,
yeah. So
yeah,
back to
that,
the question you asked me earlier, it
yeah,
was
sure,
like,
go for it.
what's the hardest part, like to make the back of the
Hmm.
packaging? So like, um, you can see like, uh, we did something, the special thanks from Sean. That one I kind of took the design from G.I. Joe, like the shape of the profile thing,
Uh-huh.
and I was just having fun, and he was like, just do it. Yeah.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work, man. That is some
What
great.
one of the thing is I got to cut in. Sorry, one of
Go
the
for it,
things
man.
that I actually give a lot of leeway to Max into what he does because you guys know I'm not an art guy, and that's why thank you Adobe Express for making me like a master. But if it wasn't for Max to on such short notice to start the packaging for the entire K-pop Heroes line.
Mhm.
We wouldn't even have a K-pop Heroes line to deliver to you guys. I'll straight be I'll be absolutely honest about this. So having him on the team, he's the youngest of the entire team.
Mhm.
So he has new ideas, and he's like a sponge and takes in everything. So for that man, that's really a lot for him.
Yeah, well, that's high praise for you, Max. Kudos to you. You're doing a great job over there, man. Keep it going. We look forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing what you do for the packaging later on. Thank you for coming on, man. We greatly appreciate you and appreciate your time. 2 thumbs up. There you go.
No
By the
problem.
way, what other Star Wars stuff you got back there? Just curious. Just curious.
Oh, it's just a Boba Fett art thing. It's pretty cheap. I don't think it's official.
Oh, all
Like
right.
it was only like 20 less than $20 or something like that.
Oh, and just
Yes.
so you guys know, he's the only one in the entire team that's 7 feet tall.
Your foot 7 feet?
I'm 6'7".
Oh, your foot 6'7"?
Man,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Max, we greatly appreciate your time. Great job on the carding, man. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you,
See you.
Max.
Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
And then, Sean, you also had two more pictures that you wanted to share.
Oh yeah.
Coming with Taka Michinoku is a beautiful robe so far. Look at that.
Yes. This is something that you guys kicked Max out too early.
Oh no! Bring him back! Bring him back!
Max was the one that actually did this. Just
Oh
so you
no!
guys know.
Is
Yeah,
he still
he
in the
was the
waiting room?
one.
Bring him back.
He
Bring him
was
back.
actually he was actually the one that did this, and I have to say, he volunteered to do this one because
Wow.
initially I was going to hire somebody outside to do it, and Max was like, "Hey, let me try."
Hmm.
So I was like, "Okay, let's go see what you can do." We worked out the fabric, and he was like, "Can I check the pictures of his robe because he knows that I bought it from Taka."
Hmm.
And so there are a couple of things that we're working on, and he was testing it. Um, he was basically testing the size of it,
Hmm.
and that's why we're seeing one that is a little bit tighter than the other. So he was actually planning on um to ask the collectors what did they think in terms of you want it tighter or you guys want it loose,
Hmm.
because if you're gonna have it tighter, then it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to pose perhaps, whereas if you have it loose, then it kind of makes it baggy.
Hmm.
So if collectors out there, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to let us know. We'll have a look at that.
Okay. So Taka will be coming with a robe, huh?
Oh, we have
Yes,
somebody that might
definitely.
want to jump back in and discuss this.
Oh, did
Well, bring him back in.
He's
bring
back.
Bring him back in.
He hit
where?
me up on YouTube Live and said I'm in the waiting room. He jumped back in.
Max, welcome back. It's been a long time no talk, dude.
Long time no see.
Um,
So we kicked you out a little bit early. We didn't mean to. Sorry, that was our bad.
yeah, I forgot about it too.
Hey, we can all be we're all among friends. We can make mistakes, but why don't you talk about the robe a little bit? Taka's robe, I should say.
I actually got him like right here. I got it.
Oh, here, let me stop the screen share so we can see a live shot.
Go for it, Max.
There you go.
Right. So like what Sean said, I was like testing different size, different like so
Can you hold it up? Because if you're not holding it up, nobody can see.
It's like our
That's-
podcast every week. Nobody sees
uh
anything.
a 3D print model is like dead. Okay. Okay, so I believe this is the second one. Yeah, this is the first one. I mean, not the first one I made, but uh it's the first one that I think that looks fine.
Uh-huh.
So for this one, it's a little bit more like oversized.
Hmm.
Like you can tell, like you can't even like fold the front like this. This is like big.
Uh-huh.
And so what's good about this one is like it's easy to take it off like super easy
Oh,
because
whoa.
the arms are like,
So no chance of breakage on the figure. That's great.
yeah. And this one is a little bit more tighter. Oops. The arms.
See?
Man, stop breaking your toys, man. I don't get it.
I promise the
because
final
the
one won't be like
because
this. This
the
is
the
yeah.
prototypes, right? Let me just
Yeah,
reiterate,
yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
prototypes, the sockets are not great, so that's why. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. There are people who are gonna probably lose their minds since.
Somebody had a
Mhm.
question on YouTube Live. Sean, this one comes in
Yeah.
from the 3 Points of Articulation show.
Hey Jamie, how you guys doing? But anyway, yeah.
He asked if the material on that robe is similar to the Toy Biz flare.
Um, Max, maybe you can mention that one.
I don't I don't really have that one.
It's okay. It was Toy Biz. Not many people
All right.
cared.
You stop
Okay.
it.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay. So
sorry.
okay, I have the Toy Biz one, so I can say. This one that we have, because it's a prototype, so we just kind of working out the size of it. So it's actually very flimsy on this
Okay.
one, but the one that we're going to make will make sure to be thicker. I can't say whether it will be as thick as the one that the Toy Biz Ric Flair had, but we do want it a little bit thicker than this one we have right now. Yeah.
Nice. So
That
that
looks
is
so good.
so that is the plan, to have Taka come with that robe.
Right.
Okay. Just wanted.
And it's not good. It's not going to change. We're definitely going to have the soft good robes for Taka Michinoku. That's a 100%.
Okay.
That I can tell you guys. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Max. Now you can go, man.
All right.
Actually, we may be hitting you up in a few minutes, so who knows?
Yeah,
This is-
just in case. Stay on, get on standby on the YouTube live. Let me know.
we're live, pal, so anything can happen. Anyways, Max, we appreciate you for jumping back on. And
Thank you, Max.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
2 thumbs up, dude. There you go. That's your signature, dude. All right. Now we have a.
He's a sweetheart, isn't he?
He's awesome. He's awesome.
He's
Bring
a
him-
sweetheart.
Bring him back. Let's have him back
Really
on.
cool, dude. Yeah, bring it back in.
Let's bring him back in. No, I'm joking. All right. I think it's time that we hear a special announcement from Taka Michinoku. A special video, I should say, from Taka Michinoku.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Taka Michinoku, former WWF light heavyweight champion and the owner of JTO in Japan. My KWK Heroes figure will come out for pre-order in October. I'm so excited for the figure and thank you for the support.
From the legend himself, Taka Michinoku. His figure's coming out in October, as he said.
Yeah, the light that was on top of his head made him look like a saint.
So you're saying you had a little bit of issues with him.
Well, when he sent me a video, I was like, "Are you okay? You seem a little tired." He was like, "Oh, I'm just getting old." I was like, "Come on, man, you look younger than me, and you're complaining that you're old." So he's been very busy between New Japan and JTO. So he's running shows in Japan, and he's doing New Japan shows as well. So he's got a lot on his plate in Japan right now.
And you had a little bit of an issue, as you've talked about on our show numerous times, with the hair.
Yeah.
You were having a lot of problems with the
yeah. Oh my God, yeah, we had a lot of problems with the hair. And some people were saying, oh, he didn't have that hair when he was in WWE. But if you look at the time when he was in Kaientai, he had that hair. He had that hair. He had that little strand of hair. Maybe not as long as what he has now, but because the head itself, we're basing it off his current head. And I'll be straight and honest, he took the pictures, and that's why we were able to finally get it out. And the head alone, it took us 9 months to really get it perfect. So I'm glad that it's coming out great, and you guys will get to see the pictures later.
Yes. Yeah. Also, big news from KWK. There's going to be a little bit of a change, and I'm going to have you go into this, Sean.
Okay, so and we were listening to some of our customers that how they don't want the chase figure, the prototype, and whatnot. And so we thought about it and go, okay, fine, if that's the case, let's adjust a little bit, not by a lot, but just a little bit. So we're gonna put the 1 of 3 prototype as the sweepstakes. So then what will happen is you guys will have to, by the time you guys get it, and it's only going to be for the people who have purchased from across the board. So for from us, from Shop KWK or the Asylum or Wrestling Merch in Canada. So basically, go on Instagram, you post your purchase on Instagram, okay, with hashtag KWK Kayfabe Heroes, one line, and tag the KWK brand Instagram handle, and the Instagram handle's name is right there for you guys to see. So that way, you automatically entered, and you will have to do that for every single one of the figures. So say for example, if you bought Los Conquistadors and you show it, then you enter the sweepstakes for Los Conquistadors. And if you have bought the La Resistance, then you enter for La Resistance. If you bought Takamichinoku, you enter for Takamichinoku, and if you have shown for TJP, then you enter for TJP, and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the changes being made. That will start with the Conquistadors, you said, right?
Right. That will start with Los Conquistadors. The 1 of 5 and 1 of 10 chase test shots will stay as chase, just for people who know.
And by the way, did a lot of people come forward with a lot of the rare prototypes for Mantar? Did a lot of people come forward and post their stuff?
Yeah, there were quite a lot of people posting that, after they made purchases, they posted online and gave their reviews. We did have some shipping issues, in particular to the UK.
Okay.
The shipping company didn't handle the packages too well, and there were some damaged packages. But I believe for majority of it, that's pretty much fixed right now. Obviously with international shipping, there are a lot of times that we just can't control how these people will handle the packages. But
Correct.
we do the best we can to pack the figures and get them shipped out.
We're always at the mercy of the handlers, so.
Oh yeah. That's why even China is starting to use a lot of machinery instead of human hand right now for that.
Okay.
But that's another issue.
Gotcha. All right. So that is the changes for the 1 of 3 prototype. Nothing changes for 1 of 5. Nothing changes for 1 of 10. Correct?
Absolutely not. So
Okay.
we're not changing them.
All right. Just want to get that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Sean, how are you doing right now? You okay? I know you've
Oh
been...
yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. I know you've had busy few days lately. So.
No, more like 2 months. More like 2 months.
Yeah, it's part of the days.
Few months. Sean's got a big addition coming up to his line as well.
What's up?
Sean's got a big addition coming up to his line as well. We're about to.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, why don't you go into it?
So the next bit of the KWK Kayfabe Heroes, we introducing the Opulent Edition. So the Opulent Edition is something that the team have discussed about, and it goes for figures that have a lot more accessories to go with, or interchangeable parts. So we looked at some of the wrestlers that in our line. And, for example, someone like Great Kabuki, he has a lot. So, and that particular thing for us is that, we just can't just simply, promote a figure, just put a figure out like that. We have to think about, okay, what this figure should come in terms of accessories. How is it going to look? Will this particular figure needs an extra set of hands? Or extra set of arms or things like that. So, for figures that have a lot of these accessories, will go into Opulent Edition. So, it will come out at the same time as the regular stuff. So, say, for example, Great Kabuki, the team and I have discussed it, and what happens is we'll have the Rumble 94 look. But because that particular figure, you really don't have any accessories to go with. Maybe the Poison Mist. So that will be more of a regular Kayfabe Heroes figure. Okay. And for Great Kabuki, which you guys will see later on when Joe comes on, we'll have a lot more accessories to go with, different parts. So for that many parts, this will be going on the Opulent Edition. Yeah.
Okay. I hate to ask this, but what is going to be the price point for the Opulent?
The Opulent will most likely be somewhere around $60.
60? Okay. Gotcha.
Somewhere around, but don't quote me on it yet. But it'll be around that.
No, I'm quoting you right now. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm joking. Oh, did I get a spit take? Darn it. All right. Anyways.
Man, I managed to swallow real quick, but man, you tried to get me spit on camera.
That's what
That would be like the that
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're live.
Oh!
We're live. We can't do that.
Oh! Yeah. Oh my God.
I need to let somebody else in to kind of
Yeah, actually.
down a little bit.
Okay, so around $60, but we kind of expected that because it's going to have more accessories. That does happen
yeah.
when things do get added, so we definitely understand that. So
Yeah, because you will have a lot of extra tooling for these parts.
okay.
So, and mind you, they are mostly individually sculpted. I wouldn't say sculpted tooling. They're all individually tooled. So that's what the problem is. The molds will most likely be only for one particular figure. That's where it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah. Yep. When you start adding stuff and doing new molds and everything, it does kick up the price.
Yeah.
So that's all part of the business of collecting and also behind the scenes stuff of wrestling figures.
Yeah.
So we also have some prototypes for you.
Yeah, let's start showing some pictures.
All right, let's start showing some figures here.
Let's get Mark on here first.
Oh yeah,
He's coming in.
here's Mark. We're excited for these prototypes, by the way. A lot of people excited for these prototypes.
Hey, Mark.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
It's been a long time, man. It's been
I
a
know.
long time since I've seen you guys. How you keeping?
Repping the HWO over there. I see you. I see you.
You know it. You know it.
We
For
know how
life.
you roll. We have some prototypes to show off, and we're glad to have you on, Mark. You have been a big part of the KWK brand here, so we're excited to show these figures off for you. So, Scott?
Got one picture coming right up. Hold on one sec.
Mark, how long you've been part of or the team with Sean?
Oh, let me think. So Sean got in touch with me. When was it now? It was probably just before the prototypes of Mantar was complete, and he needed some new paint work, needed some paint happening. The previous painter had some other things going on in life and was unable to carry on the commitment at the time. And regardless of the good job that he did at the time, obviously he wasn't able to carry on. So Sean got in touch and asked me to carry on the work that he'd been doing, which I was more than happy to say yes to. So we came to an agreement of timelines and whatnot. And Mantar was so essentially from pretty much the beginning of Series 1, like not long after the very first couple of prototypes got painted, I carried on, yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you a part of the team. You've done some great work, man. We got some prototypes right here for Series 2. Sean, you want to go into them?
Well, let Mark talk about it. I'll rather
right.
let Mark talk about this one. Yeah.
Mark, I'll pass it over to you.
No worries. All right, then. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do very, very quickly. I'll move my laptop because I've got the finished painted prototypes right next to me.
Oh,
so
nice.
I can talk to you about them in live. Here we go. Right. I'll just get them sorted there. Right. So hopefully you can see them all right. And I'll bring them a bit closer to the screen one by one.
Oh, those look so good.
You guys, I'm pretty sure, spotted in the packaging when you were chatting to Max earlier. You saw the La Resistance painted up as well as the TJP painted up. So the way that worked was I took photos of these particular figures, sent them to Max, and then Max has used them in the packaging mock-ups, you see. So they're exact versions of what they actually are. And while you're looking at them, I'll just get these ones over as well very quickly because I know that you've spoken about them briefly. But here we have Conquistador with a cape on.
Oh,
So
those are so good.
nice.
these will be, I believe these will be possibly, I'm sure I might be able to confirm, but part of the one of threes maybe that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the prototypes
indeed.
and whatnot.
Yes.
So you get an idea of what these guys look like. And the thing is with the Conquistadors, as I'm sure you can appreciate, there's not very much to go on regarding variants, but the masks is where the variant plays a massive part. So there's 3 different types of masks for the Los Conquistadors. So I thought I'll just quickly show you those guys before we look at the other ones for Series 2 coming up.
Those look so good, man.
Jeff, I think they've made Edge and Christian's best figures right there.
Very fun to make. Those ones were an interesting one. Sean asked me if I could jump in to help finish those ones off. And they ended up taking longer than the entirety of Series 1 to finish off the Conquistadors. But yeah, got there in the end. So they're all finished now. They're ready to ship off to Sean and the factory, ready for what needs to happen next in the production.
The prototypes are so good,
Those
man.
are fantastic.
I'll quickly bring this up as well. So that's Rene with a flag, just to show you how he would hold a flag. That's just obviously an unpainted version I'm going to get onto soon, which will be Rene in his solo gear in the French trunks. The flag will be French as well, and then you've got the Quebec flag finished as well. That will go with Sylvain. So rather than chuck it in his hand now because it's a bit fiddly when it's this resin stuff, you can get an idea of what the flag looks like, and this is at scale of exactly how big it will be. But I'll bring the figures a bit closer to the screen for you. So we've got Sylvain and Rene here, who
those are awesome.
These were really fun to paint actually, because with the Resistance, there's a few different variations, and we've spent quite a bit of time working out which color variations of trunks we were going to go for. We were originally thinking about, should we go for some of the tights? But then we thought, no, there'll be a few molding issues, because on the particular tights that we were originally going to go for, the black tights with the French flag draped around like a belt, it meant we would have had to have sculpted extra additional parts for it, which didn't really fit in with how we're making the variants. So we thought, right, well, let's go for the different colored trunks, and these are the first of the different trunks that we went for. So these are the red ones. But yeah, really, really, really fun. I'll show you the back of them so you can get an idea as well. So if you can remember the La Resistance tights, I'm not sure if my camera's picking up the details perfectly there.
Is there a way you could bring it closer to the camera?
Let's have a look. See if I can do this.
Let's look at Renee's butt. All right.
There's his butt there. You can see his butt there.
Sculpted fantastically.
And travels all the way around with the triangle arrows on this side of his body.
The details on the trunks look great, man.
Appreciate it very much.
Great job.
They were fun to do. Show TJP next. So this was a really fun figure to paint. It was quite tricky in parts because I don't use any decals, you see. I do everything hand painted. So getting some of these details, I'm not sure what you can pick up on there. We've had to change a few of the details because of copyright. So we've got bull's horns instead of ticks, for example. You can quite make that out. But you get the general idea of what's going on there, and the gold sun logos on the tights. And again,
Mark, sorry, allow me to cut in for a quick second.
Please
TJ,
do, man.
when he saw this, he was so amazed. Like he practically go, "Oh my God, this looks beautiful."
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So he really, really likes this.
Yeah, it looks excellent. It looks really, really good.
Vested,
and mind you, the tights and the entire gear was the gear that I actually bought off him directly. So yeah, that's when he was the cruiserweight champion in WWE at the time. So he actually wore this. Yeah.
Mark, I apologize. Would you be able to bring the vest up closer, TJP?
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. And it's like a breakaway. It's like a tearaway, like basketball players. Okay.
So there's the front of the vest, the zips on the side, and the collar.
Okay.
Very reminiscent of kind of what we expect from sort of early '90s Shawn Michaels HBK kind of front of vest, if you remember.
Yep.
The back molded hood on the back. With the sun logo, and it's kind of like a blotchy red and dark red kind of blotch design. Difficult to explain really, but it took me a while to try and figure out a good way of getting that style rather than just painting it a flat color of red.
Okay.
So there's lots of dry brushing and sponge work to get that done nicely. But yeah, it fits nicely as well around TJ, so that's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
And last but not least, the man with the 9-month-long fringe that we've taken a long time to try and sort out, Mr. Michinoku. Try and get that so the camera picks him up a bit better. I'm not sure if it does or not, but there we go. It's getting there eventually. So yeah, it's taken a while to work out. We've gone for 3 different designs again, and this one again we had to be careful with copyright. So slight adjustments to the logos on the boots, but you can see where we were going with that one. Taka on one side with the flag in the middle of his logo name and Japanese scripture on the other side.
Tie and tie, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed it is.
That is fantastic. Great job, man. I know there was a lot of work. As you said, there was the 9-month fringe, and for you to absolutely do a great job of capturing the head sculpt. Great job, man. That is excellent.
We've got some close-ups of these guys too.
Yeah, I think there might be some photos you guys might have, and obviously all thanks to Sean's vision and direction. But Joe, who'll be on in a bit, he's just done a masterful job with the sculpts, and then I've had a pleasure painting what these guys have come up with in the background. So it's cool to give them a bit of color, but wouldn't be able to give them that color if the likes of Joe hadn't done such an amazing job with the sculpts.
Well, those look fantastic.
Yeah, there's those guys,
and there's the one where the flag is in the hand. Great job, man. Great job.
I'm gonna say this. Mark and Joe and Max, they have a lot of ideas, and I cannot ask for a better team, because we will be talking and talking and talking about ideas, or how the figure should look and things like that daily.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll spend hours talking about these stuff. So for now, if you guys can have a look at these, and these figures will now be a lot more closer in terms of the entire look to our predecessors. So that's the whole mindset of what we're going with, rather than I know how some people don't like the look of things for some of the figures, having new style and things like that. But we're trying to stick to the similar look to our predecessors, and that's the thing that we are going with.
Got it. And as you can see on the screen right there's a lot of, or the prototypes I should say, of Taka Michinoku and TJP Pryor. Yeah. I know we talked about it before. I know there was a lot of work on Taka's head sculpt, and you guys absolutely crushed it. There was a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, I bet.
Oh yeah.
It's the funnest part about doing figures, apart from essentially creating your own fantasy federation, essentially, the figures that we never had, getting to bring them to life, especially with names that you used to watch growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been customizing Hasbro's now since the end of 1997. That's when I made my first ever figure. And then lots of different very lull points and times away from it, such as having children and families and whatnot,
Yep.
And then getting back into it a bit, dipping my toe in, and then so I've always wanted to get back into it. It's been a long time since I've done anything. It's probably been about close to 15 years since I made my last custom, until Sean got in touch. So being able to, take part in my hobby once again, but it being for a project, a real project, rather than just sitting on my shelf, or like back in 1997 when I didn't know that customizing figures was an actual thing other than what I was doing. There was no internet. Didn't know anybody else who was doing it. There was no forums back in the day or anything like that, to share ideas on.
Yeah.
Until AFR, I think, was the first one, Action Figure Resource, just before WrestleFigs. So when that came along, and the likes of Beatty and the rest of the crew and that were kicking around to give some inspiration, then it was amazing to see how much that hobby has grown into what it's grown into. And I would like to give a shout out as well to certainly the HWO crew, because they were a really amazing bunch of dudes, and and through them, I got back into the hobby again. And if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have bumped into Sean again, and got where we are now with what we're doing. And people killing it for every single line. In this particular group, there's people who are working on essentially every line that's out there, which is amazing. Whether it's Tippy or whether it's TTD or whether it's Adrian, everybody's smashing it. And it's whilst we're all working for different companies as such, it's amazing that there's a cool friendship there. And I think sometimes that gets lost within figure collecting. I think people look at it a bit tribalistic, like they do with the real side of wrestling, quite tribal fan bases. But actually, there's enough really, really, really cool people across the board who are fans of each and every company. So it's cool to see. And happy birthday to Tippy as well. It's Tippy's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Tippy!
Happy birthday, Tippy!
The HWO is cool. It's a cool group on Twitter. Found you guys through Twitter, and it's a good group of guys out there. So, but
it's really
great team you have going on here, Sean, Mark being part of it as well. You're part of something great here, man. You're building something really, really special. So
it's amazing to be part of it. It's amazing to be part of it. Everybody in the team's fantastic. Really are.
Mark, we appreciate you for coming on, especially for showing those prototypes, man. I know there's a lot of people that are just clamoring to see what's coming up next for the KWK line. So, kudos to you, man. I know the sleepless nights aren't fun, but you're doing something special, as I said, man. Sean's laughing up there.
This is the thing. We've got Sean in China, me in the UK. We've got Joe in the US. So trying to get together for you guys know what it's like when you get guests on, trying to sort a suitable time out. I'll be hanging around in the lobby, guys. So maybe at the end when we all get together and have a chat about what comes in the future, give me a shout. I'll be around.
Okay,
and I'll bring the factory manager on as well.
All right, let's bring everybody. It's a party over here. It's live. It's Comic-Con. Let's go.
Cool.
All right, we'll see you later, Mark.
In a bit, guys.
Later.
In a bit.
Sean, you do have something special going on here, man. It's really great seeing, dude.
We really have a great team, and it's only going to get better. One of the things that we talked about, the factory manager want to drag him in and things like that, and because of the Comic Kid and Yoshitatsu being dragged, and that's one reason why I'm going to the factories. On top of that, I'm going to have a meeting with a new factory. And the new factory actually has experience of making these figures in a very timely manner. So, yeah. The factory has worked with previous companies before. I'm not going to name names, but they are known to get figures out very, very fast.
Okay.
So last time I went to the factory and I sat down with them, and we discussed various stuff. And one of the reason why, and we might just right now talk about this because the basically the thing that broke the camel's back for me with this current factory is that early in the week there was a leak, and because the circle in China is relatively small in terms of collectors, so we were very quickly within 8 hours we were able to track down the seller, and we stopped the seller from selling. Not only that, we were able to get back whatever that was leaked. So there's no leaks that's coming out, and that's also one of the reasons why I have to head to the factory on Monday, because I'm taking everything back. Okay. With the exception of the Comic Kit that's in the works coming out of the factory, along with Yoshitatsu, which I have given a deadline now to August 15th for them to get out the factory. So, and then after that, I no longer want to have anything to do with that factory anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move along for the Comic-Con, KWK Comic-Con. We have the daughter of Ox Baker coming on to talk with us. Excited to speak with her about her dad.
Oh man, it's the first time I've talked to her in a while. So yeah, that's gonna be something big. First time I see her face to face as well, in fact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Megan.
Hey Megan.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi.
Good. Thank
Hi.
you.
How's everything going out there?
Good.
Good. You excited that your dad's getting another figure?
I am super stoked about it.
Are you?
One hasn't been done for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a long time. He hasn't been represented in a lot of figure lines, and that's a shame. So I'm glad Sean's bringing him in.
Oh, I was just floored because I've wanted to do something like that for a long time after his death, but I just didn't know the proper way of going about it. And
The
Sean
proper
actually
channels.
found me. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That we love hearing that. By the way, were your friends scared of your dad when they would come over when you were younger?
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to
That's
ask.
a good question.
The neighbor kids my mom used to watch, and two of them would come over. The one would literally pee his pants and run away.
It's understandable if you look back at it. I get it. I probably would have done the same thing, but
I wanna ask you, Megan, was your husband scared when he first met your dad?
My husband unfortunately never got to meet him.
aw.
Oh,
Yeah, he's here with me.
Hi.
This is Tom. This is my husband.
What's up?
Hi, husband.
So your dad hasn't had a figure since a Figures Toy Company back in I believe in the early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sean reached out to you. And obviously, you were super excited about getting your dad back into figure form. Can you kind of talk about the emotions, like the excitement, like when Sean reached out to you?
Well, like I said, it's been a long, long process because everybody and their brother is like, hey, we're best friends with your dad and we have this entitlement. We have this entitlement. And I'm like, wait a minute. Nobody has this entitlement but his children. And at that time, there were three of us. My brother unfortunately passed away 3 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
There's a little twist to everything. So I am certified as his daughter because he, of course, signed my birth certificate. He did not sign my sister's. And we had always talked about, well, if we could get the trademark, this is what we would do, because I actually have his cookbook and his comic book. And Sean, out of the blue, messaged me and was like, hey, are you the daughter of Ox Baker? And I was like, yeah, like, okay. If somebody recognizes me, okay. And then he got to talking about how he has a toy company and he wanted to produce a doll. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like floored because I was like, this is what I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm. So, Sean, I know you're gonna do it right with this figure. I know you are.
right.
What's the idea? What are you planning for the Ox Baker figure?
Well, the Ox Baker figure we have is going to have a stretcher, and per Megan's request, we have a vest for her, for the figure as well. So don't worry, we have it. We have it. I promise. We're gonna have the full vest because Megan was requesting. And I go, maybe it's gonna be a little bit difficult to make, but we'll see. And then I talked to Joe and then I talked to Mark and we sat down and we were really, really talking about it. And, Joe was like, what? I'm going to give it a shot. So, we finally were able to get that done and we're going to show it later on. I have to say, man, Ox, despite your dad and I almost had a fight back in the day. Okay. It's like, but I have to say, I hope I have made him proud on that figure.
Sean, you gotta stop fighting people.
I was gonna say I've been on every step of the way with Sean, and he's showed me the progress and everything. And I'll ask for something to be tweaked, and he usually does. And I'm excited because my dad's never had an action figure with a I guess a prop. There was only two figures ever made. There was a normal figure and a bloody figure.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep. Do you still have those figures, by the way?
I do.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Sean, I'm so excited to see what you do with the trademark mustache of Ox Baker. Easy for me to say. But I'm so excited to see what you do and your design team does for this figure because, it's been a long time since we've had the Ox figure. So, we're excited.
yeah.
We're excited to see it.
There might be
Well,
pictures.
not even the
I mean,
mustache. It's
yeah.
also the eyebrows, and they got.
Oh, yeah.
Sean has it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Because when I first showed it to her, I didn't like the eyebrow so much. Megan thought it was okay, and I was like, you know what? It's not angry enough. We need that look where it's like, that kind of feel. So I was like, okay, give me a bit of time. Let me work on the team. And Daniel was the one who did the head, and
Okay.
the entire thing. But Joe also did the vest and the accessories and have made a little bit of adjustment to fit it more to look like the predecessors. So I think people are going to like it.
Oh, we're so excited for it, Megan. And I know you're excited too, right?
Oh, I am. I have other people saying, "Hey, when is it releasing? Can we already purchase a pre thing?" And I'm like, "No, you guys gotta wait. You guys
It's
gotta
a
wait."
process. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a long process to say the least.
But the finished product's going to be worth the wait.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and Sean, just because of this, Sean has opened so many doors for me. It's insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then somebody was like, "Hey, you met this person in Chillicothe because they just put my dad in Chillicothe, Ohio's Hall of Fame."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Yeah, I met this guy." And they were like, "Well, give him a call. Give him a call. He makes plushies." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "I want to sleep with your dad." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "They make figures." And he's like, "I think it'd just be cool to have an Ox Baker figure sleeping there." He's like, "I want to scare my wife." I said, "Okay."
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, Sean, we're excited to see this figure. We'll be seeing it later. Megan, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's greatly
Not a
appreciated.
problem.
It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Megan.
Congratulations on finally getting another Ox Baker figure. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I can't wait to have him.
Me too.
Us too.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Megan, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Megan.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Sean.
Bye.
Bye.
So stretcher and vest, huh?
Yep.
Nice. We're excited for it, man.
Oh my God.
The tooling, the molding.
It's, I have to say, probably one of my favorite figures, from so far of what we have done. And, to see Megan really happy about it as well, that makes me really feel good.
What I liked about it is you could tell she was so excited about it too. Like there was
Permanent smile.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to put it. There's a permanent smile. So we're excited for that one, man. Moving along, part of the live, we have a Rene Dupree video to share with everyone.
I'm here with former WWE Tag Team Champion, WWE Superstar Rene Dupree. It was a very special announcement for all of you. He has the first figures coming out in almost 20 years under the KWK brand. You can pre-order them at shopkwk.com. Rene, tell us how you feel about this.
When I first got my first action figure, I don't care who you are, it's kind of a surreal moment, especially growing up as a wrestling fan. And then, after a while, you get half a dozen, and in my case, I've got like over a dozen while my time working for WWE. So, the first time you get it's cool, then, it kind of loses its luster after a while. But like you said, it's been 20 years. And these figures are extra special because they're molded kind of like the Hasbro figures that I used to buy when I was a kid back in the day. So I think I have one. Just a second. I have one in the Hasbro of Macho Man. So
This is awesome.
So essentially the figures are going to look like this, right? So this way here, when I get my figure, I'll be able to battle the Macho Man.
So I'm super excited for that. There's a limited amount being sold. Like you said, you can purchase it via their website, but I'll also have a number, a very limited number that you can buy via Cafe de Rene and my website. So you'll have two options. So for North Americaners, especially who want to first dibs at the new Rene Dupree Hasbro style action figure, you'll be able to order it through my channel and through me, and I'll personally sign the box and send some extra goodies with it. And again, that'll be available this fall in September. So once I receive the merchandise, I'll be starting to take pre-orders, and hopefully they arrive before I leave for my trip to Europe, because I can sign all of them. I think we're talking about hundreds of them that I'm receiving. So I can sign them all, and then even if I'm in Europe, I can get someone to send it out for me. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to continue to do business with this company, because they have a lot of plans for the future to make other dolls, action figures that WWE did not use. Like, for example, my Ming the Merciless era with the facial hair that was never capitalized on.
The funky mustache, yeah. Never a miss.
So maybe have that come out in the future. Also, capitalize on Fifi, the French Poodle 2-pack, right? With the robe and the leash, and so there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon. And I'd like to thank the company that we're dealing with again, KWK, shop kwk.com. That's where you can find not only myself but lots of other legends.
Sean, you're tooling up Fifi, huh?
Well, we haven't talked about it yet, to be honest, but Renee is thinking about it. For whatever reason, he couldn't just thank me directly, after knowing him for so many years.
I'll speak on behalf of Renee. Thank you, Sean.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know about it by now, a lot of the talents that I've signed in the beginning are either friends of friends or are friends of mine that I've known for years. So, Renee, for example, I've known him since 2000, and I think it was sometime like early 2000, almost 20 years up. And the first time I met him, it was through an interview. Because I was running my own podcast in China, the first ever wrestling podcast in China, in fact. So, he was one of the guests, and I was flying to Taiwan to interview him because they were having a show under the Muda's All Japan banner. So, that's how we became friends. And when I was planning this line, and, I was thinking, hold on a second, Laurie Sistar hasn't had a figure in years. So, I contacted Renee, and through Renee, I talked to Sylvan, talked to Rob Conway. Rob Conway didn't sign with us. It turns out, so I was thinking, okay, let's just keep the original two then, if that's the case. So, Renee and Sylvan to do that. I think it's pretty interesting in terms of how things are going to come out, because Renee, besides the 3 variants that we're going to have, he's going to have his exclusive 1 of 100 figure. So that will be sold at his store. And the rest will be available to everybody. Yeah.
And he's autographing all of them too, coming out of his store.
He will be autographing the ones that goes to his store. Yeah.
Yeah.
And paint pen, right? Paint pen?
Well, I don't know. You got to talk to him about that one.
All right. I'll email him.
We need to ship him some paint pens just to be sure.
Yeah. But I think it's time for some announcements. What do you think, Sean? You ready to talk about these?
Go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
So K-Babe Heroes Series 3, we have done a little bit of changes. Because I was thinking if I'm going to do a lot of Samurai Delso, different variants or whatever, I'm gonna get razor blades coming to me. So, I finally was able to track down Metalik with Samurai Delso's help and with Sai Metalik. So he is added into Series 3 with coming out with Samurai Delso next year, February.
Okay, so are they coming out or pre-orders go up for them in February? Just
Pre-order. Sorry, pre-order.
No, you're okay. I just wanted to clarify that one. But
and Sean, these aren't 2-packs, correct? These are all single carded figures.
They are all going to be single packs, even
okay.
as you can see the La Resistance or Los Conquistadors, because it will be easier for me to send individual figures to the wrestlers instead of sending 2-packs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Also in Series 3, you got Ox Baker, as we just spoke to Megan about.
Yes.
And a big signing, Great Kabuki. And Ox is a big signing.
Oh, yeah.
These are all big signings to us.
I have to thank Yoshi for this one, because Yoshi was translating for me, was helping me to get that deal. So, Yoshi, if you're ever watching this, and I've thanked you already privately, but, publicly, Yoshi was the same. So, love it.
And we're going kind of backwards on this, but Ox and Great Kabuki, those pre-orders go live in December of this year, correct?
December, yes.
Okay,
yes.
You guys can see that there. We're also, as I said, we're kind of going backwards. And the last announcement, the last 2 guys that will be available in November.
Laredo Kid and Sam Adonis. Sam has a lot of ideas, and he's a collector himself.
Uh-huh.
So he's got different ideas and stuff like that. So we're gonna make him look really, really pop. Laredo Kid, the outfit alone pops already. So it's I think as an action figure, they're all gonna look really, really good. There's no way around it. Yeah.
Yep. That's not it. That's just Series 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got Series 4. Series 4. Go for it. I'll let you go.
I'm gonna announce it. I'm gonna announce this right now. Flash Funk is signed with KWK brand. After I have been poking him for so long, and I was really, really happy about it, because, he Charles and I, he was actually the second guest that I had on my podcast when I was running the first ever podcast in China, Wrestle Network. And, he came on, and ever since then, every now and then I would call. So, and I was trying to get him to sign, and then, I found out that he was signing with another company. I was like, okay, can you guys know me? I don't like to do another action figure that is, that is being made from another company. So there's no clash. And, while I was talking to Charles was like, I asked him, hey, is anyone doing Flash Funk? And it was like, no. So I was like, whoa, let me just do Flash Funk then. Hell yeah.
I think we might need some verification to this story. I think we might need some verification to this story. You know what?
Well, Charles will be on later. Yeah.
Well,
you know what? We're going to just admit him now, and then he'll back up your story.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have on.
I think we might need some verification to this story.
There he is.
Hey, Charles!
Too Cold Scorpio. What is going on, man?
Man, how many years since we talk over a podcast?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have on. There he is.
Not much, Jimmy. How y'all doing?
Scorpio, what is going
Good.
on?
Can you mute your computer in the background just a little bit?
Since we talk over a podcast. Ladies and gentlemen,
can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. Yes, we can hear you. So you're getting your figure with the KWK brand as Flash Funk.
Computer in the background just a little bit.
I'm like super stoked, man, and surprised. He's been trying to contact me. Sean's been trying to contact me for a while. Like you said.
Charles, hold on a second. can you switch off the YouTube feed that you're on right now? The YouTube video that you're on right now. So that way
All right, let me see.
it will be.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you just mute it, it'll stop the feedback.
Give, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
no problem.
That you're on right now.
You are the guest of honor, so we.
Yep, give
that
me,
way.
yep, give me 1 second.
Yeah, if you just mute it.
All righty.
There we go.
How's that?
There we go.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
You're getting a Flash Funk figure from the KWK brand, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked, man. It's been a minute, everybody trying to make dolls, but ain't nobody saying nothing about the Flash Funk, with all the goodies and stuff, Sean's been reaching out to me for a while, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get everything locked in, but we've gotten together and been able to lock everything in, man. So I'm like super excited, man. So yes, sir.
And this is the first Flash Funk since about mid 90s.
Yeah, we're talking like Bone Cruncher, right?
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
Way back when wrestling was still wrestling, yes. When the doll didn't even look like me. I'm gonna take it though, so
we think Sean's gonna do right by you, dude. We think he's gonna do okay by you, man.
And
Sean,
when
can you give us an idea?
go ahead.
I was going to ask Sean, do we have any idea of what accessories are going to come with Flash Funk yet?
Well, I already talked to Charles about it. So the whole idea is he will have 2 sets of arms. So, you guys know it's going to be opulent edition.
Yeah.
And it's going to come with a hat and it's going to come with a pendant. And obviously it's going to come with the mink coat. It has to.
It has to.
Because of how top is that, man? It has to. Yeah.
Got to, huh?
It has to, man.
Hey, you sign with me, I gotta make it right. That's what I do.
Hey, that's why I'm with you, man, because I gotta have it done right.
So, Sean, I have a quick question. Was there any WWE copyrights that you had to tiptoe around or anything like that?
No. See,
Okay.
I checked everything. The Flash Funk name was never trademarked. It was never. There are a lot of talents that they thought their names were trademarked, but once I started checking, a lot of them weren't, or either some of them were already dead and abandoned, or they just weren't. So that's why we can kind of play around that. Yeah.
Scorpio, I got to ask you, man, what was it like getting that Flash Funk figure back in the mid 90s? It was just an action figure of yourself. A lot of sports athletes kind of correlated to being on a Wheaties box. Like, what was it like, man?
Being how, you grew up wrestling and you're used to seeing, all your superstars and your stars, at the store, in boxes and stuff that you can buy and you can play with and stuff. So when the doll first came out, I was excited. I was like, oh, I got a new doll coming out. Then I got the doll and I started looking at it. I was like, well, who the hell is that? He's got the outfit, he's got the hat, it's supposed to be me, but I think it was like, that typical, we got one black look, we can make that fit for Ron Simmons, Too Cold Scorpio, Junkyard Dog, and it all fits the same, you know what I'm saying? But, it was still, excited just to have a doll put out, family was excited, kids was all excited, I was able to give all of them a doll at the time and stuff, so that was pretty stoked about that at the time.
You were giving them away as Christmas presents, weren't you?
Man, you already know free gifts. You got to get, when people like Teddy Long and you have access to the warehouse and stuff, it was a lot of, wrestling gifts, T-shirts and stuff that was Christmas presents, birthday presents, because it didn't cost you a whole lot.
Now, there are other companies that are making you, but nobody is the Flash Funk. So this is something exciting that Sean's tackling right now. And then, just the accessories of the top hat. And like you said, Sean, the opulent look, it's going to have the mink coat. Any other accessories, or is there anything else that you're going to be putting into it? I mean, there's going to be the KWK love being put into it. Is there any other accessories that you're thinking about?
There's going to be the pendants as well, remember. So, he's definitely going to have that. There's no way that he won't. So, the whole thing, we definitely, the whole figure, I'm going to say, because there's so many flashy outfit on that figure,
Mm-hmm.
like, we can do multiple variants on it. So it's gonna look really, really, really good.
No doubt.
We're looking forward to it. Scorpio, quick question for you. When you would be riding down the roads, did anybody ever talk about like wrestling figures or the action figures that would be on the shelves or anything like that? Or did you guys ever talk about that driving down the roads?
Back in the day, it wasn't really, talked about it until you start really learning what the equity was and what was been coming in and what you wasn't really seeing. You start hearing stories about, there's a lot of dolls out, but you're getting a $14 check or a $20 check while somebody else is getting that, half a million, $1 million. But yet you're constantly hearing about everybody named mama who's got a doll, but hear them tell that you only sold 14 on paper, but I got 25 people that want this doll signed at every other show. So, it's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, so I tell anybody, if you got to deal with anybody as far as, major company, WW, everything, you better make sure you look at the paperwork and the fine print for sure.
Got it. What's going to be great about getting the figure from Sean is you're going to be doing conventions and a lot of people are going to be bringing this figure up to you to get signed. So me included, if I see a WrestleCon or whatever, man, I'll be coming up to your table. So, but that's going to be one of the best things, man, is being able to get your autograph on that figure. So
we're looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely,
dude.
Man.
Thank you.
We'll see you in Vegas next year at WrestleCon, right?
I'm hoping so, man. No doubt. I got to come and represent, sign the doll and represent the KWK, you know what I'm saying? They're going to do me right. So I got to represent, like I say, I'm thinking, maybe early 25. Y'all need to be looking for that Flash Funk, trying to get funky in the early 25. You never know, you know what I'm saying? You never know. So we'll talk to my boy Sean and see what he got on the paperwork, but you never know.
Sean, you mentioned other outfits for Flash Funk. What are you thinking? What are you thinking for like different color outfits or different color variants?
There's definitely going to be different color variants because we were the team right after we signed with Charles, and we were already looking at different outfits. I think there are like 4 outfits, so we're not going to do all 4 because otherwise people are going to kill us. But we'll definitely be looking at maybe either 2 or 3. So that's a direction that we'll be going with. Yeah.
Okay. And Flash Funk pre-orders go live
next. Show the graphics again. I forgot already. I've been working on so many lineups lately.
All right, give me a sec.
No, we're
fine.
All right. I think it's May, if I'm not mistaken. Either May or April.
Okay.
Yeah, it's May. It's May. Oh, yeah. Okay. See, I still remember. Okay. I haven't been senile yet, so I'm good.
But we're definitely looking forward to this figure, and definitely looking forward to when it hits our front doorsteps.
Absolutely.
Take it over and get it signed. Scorpio, a pleasure having you on, man. We've been fans of yours for a long time. We don't want to be marks, but we've been a fan of yours for a long time. So thank you for coming on. And
gentlemen, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for having me on. Sean, you're the best, man. I appreciate you more.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Much love, my brother. Yes, sir. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Gotta rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Gotta go. Flash Funk, trying to get funky with it. Gotta roll.
Love it.
Scorpio.
Thanks, Scorpio.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good day.
You too. Sean, man, we can't wait for that figure, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, besides Flash Funk, we also signed Alex Borto, which will be coming out at the same time with Scorpio with Flash Funk as well. And we've been talking about ODB for a long time, and even Jessie was a little bit anxious of getting her figure as well. So we finally signed another lady to go with her, who's a Hall of Famer and is full Nakano. She will be coming out as well. I think that's going to be an April release for both of them, and then we have Orient Express, which is coming out in June, I assume. I think that's the lineup that I have.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, I just sent over money to Paul Diamond last night for the comic kit. Supposedly he wouldn't get the payment, you know, after the figures are shipped out. But I thought he's been waiting for so long, we might just well send the money over to him first. So that's going to be a next thing. This series port is big for us.
Well, we also have prototypes to show off,
Mhm.
and we're going to be
Let's bring another guest in to talk about him.
yeah. We're going to be having Joe Dumas in from the team as well. Joe, you with us? There he is.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Hi,
Joe.
Joe.
Guys.
What's going on, man? How are you doing over there?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for doing this for us. This has been great.
Oh, dude, thank you. We appreciate that. We've got some prototypes to show off, and we're excited
Yes,
to
we
show
do.
these off. We've
Yeah.
been talking about Series 3. We've been talking about Series 4.
Yep.
Here you go. There is the stretcher that we were talking about with Ox Baker's daughter. That's a prototype. Joe, why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Well, first of all, I love this stretcher. That's kind of weird to say, but Mark, Sean, and I have been, as Sean has alluded to, I talk to my wife and I talk to my kid a lot, and then after that, it's probably Sean and Mark. So that's the hierarchy in my life.
That's the pecking
lately.
order.
Yeah. But we've been talking a lot
Happy
about
wife, happy life, man. That's just the way it is.
Yes, sir, and happy Sean, happy life too.
Happy work
apparently,
wife,
but-
happy life.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about how, obviously with the original 90s WWF figures, there weren't a ton of accessories, right? You could probably
Right.
count on one, maybe two hands how many you had.
Yep.
And this gives us the opportunity to provide accessories that are potentially interchangeable.
Mhm.
And with the stretcher, which I have it here, it's a stretcher, right? I mean, it's not
Right.
a modern day looking stretcher. It's a little bit more like a World War II type thing.
Well, it's
But,
it's that era.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
for sure. Yep. And it's gonna be scaled to those old figures, and
Oh, that's
after you
awesome.
have a brutal match in your fig fed, you're gonna be able to use this. And so we're looking at doing different accessories and things with other figures coming out. Like, we're kind of constantly talking about what could we give that could be interchangeable and
Mhm.
could be gives people a little bit something extra. So like ODB comes with a flask. I'm not sure how interchangeable that'll be, but hey, maybe somebody gets thirsty mid-match, whatever it is. So yeah, just super excited about that. I
How
don't know
was-
if you guys have the photo. Oh, there you
Well,
go.
there you
There's the flask. Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys have the photo, but I also do have the vest that you all were talking about earlier with Ox Baker here.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
yep. So
Oh, nice.
you got the straps, and that'll be the softer like PVC. It's hard resin right now, so this one's just glued on this one, and then you see this is that's what it'll look like once you take it off, obviously.
I actually do have a photo of that we can
Um,
share real quick.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So very excited about the Ox Baker figure. Daniel did a fantastic job on the head.
Mhm.
The mustache, the eyebrows, like you guys were talking about, look phenomenal. Once I got the files, I was impressed, but then once I printed it out and looked at it in person, I was blown away.
Was it
that's a
difficult to
fantastic sculpt.
was it difficult to sculpt the stretcher?
It was different.
Okay.
I'll say. Yeah. I mean, I guess everything is difficult to sculpt, essentially.
Touche.
But,
Touche.
Yeah, it was different. It was I hadn't sculpted a stretcher before. So yeah, but it was fun. And the handles outside of like the I guess what would be the fabric, you know, I sculpted in like some wood kind of gray, like making it look like kind of weathered older wood. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see Mark paint it up and see how it looks. So
Nice.
It's gonna be fun.
Nice. We have other pictures here, also prototypes. Here's the ODB prototype as well. As you mentioned, she will be coming with the flask.
Yes. Yeah, and she's got an alternate head, alternate set of arms as well. So you really have like two figures in one, essentially. One thing I'm excited, and I don't know if it comes across, is the skirt. So you have the waist cut, like the normal swivel. The skirt is a separate molded piece. So it's not going to be, not that there's anything wrong with it, it's not going to be like that Roddy Piper, which is the way that I sculpted it originally, because I was trying to stay true to that. And then I was like, it just doesn't look quite right, because it's not a loose kilt, it's more of a tight whatever kind of skirt. I don't know. If my wife was here, she'd help me and tell me exactly what that's called. But yeah, so it'll give that kind of reminding me of like Deborah from the BCA line, that kind of like skirt.
That okay. Yep.
So, yeah, and I think it'll look a little bit more realistic and give a little bit more depth to the figure as well. So,
okay.
Excited about that. Oh yeah. This one. This is great. We were working to get Bull signed for a bit. And once we did, I think Sean sent the message and I ran down to my computer and I was like, I gotta start sculpting this yesterday. Like I was very excited. I was a huge Bull Nakano fan back in the day. Me and one of my buddies, when she was announced for the Hall of Fame this year, we were marking out, texting each other. And yeah, so I was super excited and honored to be able to sculpt this one. Originally I sculpted it, I was kind of going for the Mountie style with two arms kind of just hanging down by its side. And then Mark and Sean are both like, no, like that looks nice, whatever, but it's too boring. We got to do the clothesline. I was like, are you sure? And silly me, I shouldn't have doubted these two.
They might know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I did the clothesline arm, and it's wonderful. There's no way, like looking back at that first picture I sent, no, there's no, that it was too boring like that. And this just, it gives it a little bit more of that look. I think we have a picture comparing it to one of the old figures as well.
Let me find that one.
And then,
I'm excited to see that one painted up. Like you, a big Bull Nakano fan back in the mid 90s, you know? So, we do have that picture. It's right here.
There we go. So fun fact, that Macho Man figure was my first, that specific one was my first ever action figure for wrestling. And I still have it.
Wow, I feel old. We were in the LJN days, dude.
Yeah, sorry. I was actually just talking to Mark before this, and we both kind of started with Hasbro.
Got it.
He's a little older than I am, but yeah. Yeah, I thought that was neat to put that side by side. And Bull was tricky to scale because you have to take her hair into account as well. The first one I printed was as tall as a Hasbro, but it looked tiny because that was where the top of her hair ended. And I was like, oh yeah, got to take that into account too. It's like a foot tall in real life. So
right.
Well, so probably we'll have to do a separate bubble for her because the entire packaging, I'm not sure if it will be tall enough because, you know, even for Comic Kit, you know, it's kind of like reaching up to the top unless we're gonna move it down a little bit down here. So we'll see what to do with that. We may have to do a completely different bubble for her because of her hair. Yeah.
I'm confident. I think we can fit it, Sean. I was just comparing her to a Bret Hart figure, and I think we can. So
Okay, well, let's see what the factory say afterwards. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yep, that's fair.
Here's the next picture.
Yep, yeah, and she's got removable nunchuck there as well.
Yeah.
And I do have something that Sean said is okay to show, and this is something that I literally just finished a little while ago. We are looking at including,
Whoa.
and we don't even have, good photos of it yet, but
nice.
women's
Whoa.
championship that might be similar looking to another women's championship in history at some point in time.
Whoa.
That's
and
awesome.
we have the
But
white strap and
under
we
the KWK logo, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. We have a pink strap as well. Mark and I were looking at this, and this pink is way too dark. So this is I would even say this is pre-prototype. It's not even quite there. But yeah, I don't know how well it'll show up. But you can.
That actually looks really.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There
okay,
it is,
that's
yeah.
not bad at all. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
you can
really
see it's
good.
KWK on the side plates. There were flags on the original belt, so we just kind of switched that around. The logo on the top is also KWK, but it's so small that I don't know. Honestly,
It
it's gonna
looks
be tough to tell.
It looks fantastic, man.
Yeah, and I know Mattel's coming out with another figure that might benefit from having a belt like that. So hopefully that's fun for everyone.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I love that.
And just so you guys know, Joe hasn't finished with this Bull Nakano yet. For all the prototypes that we've shown, I think with the exception of Boxbaker, all the other ones we still have to kind of tune them up a little bit more, adjust them. But the Bull Nakano is going to come with an entrance rope as well. Also, different sets of arms as well for the entrance tote. I would say wouldn't be a rope. Yep, but yeah, she'll definitely be opulent. Yeah.
Okay. And then we also have the lineup right here.
Yeah.
There's the lineup for the KWK brand coming up.
Lots of incoming.
Oh yeah.
You guys can see the great kabuki as well. The great
yeah.
kabuki that both Daniel and Joe have been working on very hard, because one of the main issues is that to get a really good face for great kabuki is extremely hard. Plus, you also got the poison mist. I know Joe and Daniel are working out the gi. The top that he will have. So, along with 2 nunchucks to go with it as well. So this is the poison mist mouth that we're working with.
Can I tell you that I've already had a lot of people mention that they're super excited about that figure? I've had a lot of people reach out already saying that it's going to be a must get right away.
Yeah.
And there you have it with the mist coming out.
So we've been kind of workshopping this mist quite a bit. You don't really think about this type of thing until you're trying to make it a solid object, because it's so not solid, And at first we kind of had like a spiky, like almost like fire looking spit, and it kind of looked cool, like objectively speaking, but
like this one.
Yeah, very similar to like explosion superhero blast, which is badass if you think about somebody being able to spit that. But Mark brought up that it's more of like a plume, it's more of like a cloud. So we're workshopping this. We're gonna make that piece hollow, most likely anyways, so that it doesn't weigh things down. We don't want the figure to tip over, so it'll stay kind of light. And obviously too, being like green or something like that, I think it being hollow might add to like a translucent type of effect with it.
And you can see down below. Oops, Scott, if you could bring that picture up one more time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. if you can see down below, you can see the mask on the head. So did want to point that out too. Great job on that, guys.
That one is not removable, by the way. That's actually the molded on. The whole thing is molded on, so it's a removable
I have
head.
that right here. It looks awesome.
That does look fantastic. It's
yeah.
part of the Opulent series, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That looks great.
Yeah.
We actually asked Great Kabuki to actually wear that and took a picture of it. So, we had a very good idea of how it looked.
All right. Well, we're not done just yet. We got one more segment for everyone. This is announcements that we're all excited for.
Oh, can I stop a second? I have to tell you guys, Sylvain has something had to do with the family, so he couldn't make it. Just so you guys know, initially Sylvain Grenier was supposed to be with us, but he's got something had to do with the family, so he can't be here today. Just so you guys know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're bringing Mark back in for this. We thought we'd bring Mark back in and have kind of the team throwing up the horns. All right, Sean. Announcement time.
Oh.
First one.
We got Buddy Landau. So we reached out to the family and has worked out a deal. Buddy Landau is going to be coming out in 2025 lineup.
There you go. And has your guys' brains already started going for the robe and everything?
Yeah. We already talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be opulent for sure. Yeah, this one we have to.
Oh, that's awesome. And what I like, Sean, is that you've mentioned this on Fully Posable numerous times, that you're going for names for guys that haven't had figures. And that's
right.
That's kind of the cool thing, is like there's a lot of guys out there that haven't had many figures in wrestling figure form. Ox Baker, we were talking to Megan about that. Buddy Landau, come on now. I mean, this
hasn't even had a figure, right? This will be his.
I think he has never ever had an action figure before.
Sorry, I'm doing the Rolodex live.
Yeah, I don't think he hasn't had anybody.
Yeah.
No. Form, so this is great.
Yeah, this is great news. And next,
I think if he was going to have anything, he would have had a Remco, but I don't think he did he?
No, he did not.
No.
Great Sasuke is going to come out.
This is huge.
I'm so excited.
I know, Mark. Mark, when Sean told us about this, like, dude, I was so excited for you guys, for the team. So you get just to start working on this, like.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Joe is already working on it, but he probably will have to show it later.
What's going to be cool about this one as well is you're going to be able to put Sasuke and Taka right next to each other.
You know it. Who's getting signed? Well, both of them. Not like when WWF knocked on the door,
Exactly.
Well, you know what though? Taka put me forward with Great Sasuke, and Sasuke signed very, very quickly.
That's awesome.
Like no fuss whatsoever. He just go, yeah, do it.
That's great, man. That's great. Oh, I'm so excited for that one. Next up. Wow.
Well done. Yes. Oh, I gotta tell you guys, okay? This, to be able to sign Well Done was really, really a big thing for us. The reason why for that was it was pretty much a collaboration on the team, because we were able to track down Rex King's son, and after that, I think he had a talk with Warlord, and he saw the contract and he was okay with it, but he was so busy, so he didn't sign it yet. And then Joe was working so hard on getting Steve Dahl's family.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally were able to get both of them onto a deal, like last week. So yeah.
And can I ask a question? There's, I hate to go back to the conversation with Scorpio, but there's no copyright with WWE or anything like that, right?
Nope.
Okay.
No, there's no trademark on Well Done.
Okay. And so you would be able to do the design on the singlet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Joe,
that was a question that his Steve's widow and sister both had as well, because they were nervous about that, because I guess
Yeah.
He obviously couldn't wrestle under that name after he left WWF, and they definitely had those questions. And Sean was
it
great.
goes back to the idea of a lot of the wrestlers were scared of Vince, and then once they found out they didn't, I mean, same thing for Renee. Renee didn't know La Resistance was never trademarked.
Mm.
So afterwards, right away, I think it was within a month, Sylvain and Renee was doing a La Resistance tour after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Another big announcement right here. Shelton Benjamin. There's going to be a few looks that you could do for him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We got confirmation with the with his management team that we can announce him. So that's why we're gonna come straight out with it. Shelton Benjamin coming to the KWK line in 2025.
Pre-orders will go live 2025, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Don't mean to put you on the spot. Also, Jake Hager.
Yeah. Jake Hager, same management as Shelton, and Jake actually request for a bucket hat. So we go.
I was
we
hoping
go
you were
to
going to mention this.
we're gonna include a bucket hat, but the overall look will still go with his more previous look. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's exciting for you guys. That's a big name for you guys. Shelton and Jake, both big names for the KWK brand.
Yeah.
Fuego del Sol too.
Fuego del Sol, yes. Fuego del Sol signed with us. Actually, I think even before Joe and Mark were on board. And we couldn't think of a way to really put him in, with beginning of the line. So, but we have kind of figured out how to put him into the line, and he will definitely be coming out in 2025 as well.
That's great news for you guys.
Yeah.
Tenru, a lot of WWF fans will recognize him from which Royal Rumble was it? 93, 94?
Royal 94. 94.
Royal Rumble
number
with Kabuki.
Yes, with Kabuki.
Yes.
Yep. Sean, was this one a tough one to get?
Well, here's a funny one. I sent over the email to Great Kabuki's Tenryu's family quite a while ago, and I didn't get an email back until recently. And once that happened, we just got involved with it very, very quickly. And Tenryu's family is great, and they signed a contract like really, really fast. So yeah, I'm glad that some of these names actually and I have to say they weren't signed until very recently. And you're talking about the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want people to know that this K-Vape Heroes line is not just, we're just going to throw like a whole bunch of people in and just make a line like this. There are thoughts going to it. It's essentially becoming Mark's baby, becoming Joe's baby, becoming my baby, becoming Max's baby. So, it's a collaborative work across the board that everything that we put in. I mean, every now and then, we're discussing something and we end up butting heads very often. But the
with
thing
you,
is,
Sean.
we all
Butting
know
heads with Sean. What?
Oh yeah.
What?
I've never heard of such
I
a
always
thing.
thought it was just sunshine and rainbows. Now I know how you really
and I have to say, and I'll say publicly, thank you for the entire team, because I know how difficult I am to deal with. And you guys are saints to deal with me. Like,
Sean,
you know,
if
Sean,
you're still watching.
Sean puts out the reputation that he's really hard to work with, but he's actually not. That's the thing.
Not at
He's
all.
really not. He's really not.
Yeah.
He likes to sort of paint himself as a heel, I think, but actually he's a bit of a pussy, bit of a pussycat. Until he gets hold of the factory manager, obviously, you know. But,
oh yeah,
but I think
yeah,
it's
that's
just to
gonna be
add,
Monday.
just to add to what Sean was saying and what you guys are asking, in regards to, you know, finding names that we kind of collectively sort of suggest names to each other and think about realistic ways of would the A fit with the line with what they're doing, B would they realistically be available, and then C, if those two are positive answers for us, C, right, then let's spend a lot of time looking and finding who we can make contact with and how we can make contact with them. And it could be a simple case of that I could have done my own research and then come back to Sean and say, what about this person? I found a way in. And likewise, Joe would do the same. And then Sean obviously naturally comes and suggests, we've got this person because of a contact through so-and-so. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can be quite quick and straightforward. Sometimes there's names that when I started working with Sean, we came up with ideas and we thought that would be a great person to sign. We started conversations with them. We're still having conversations with them now. You know, we're talking a year later and they could possibly, but we don't know yet, but it's still somebody we'd like. You know what I mean? So it's everybody's different. So just to add to what Sean was saying about wanting to make the lines exactly right as best as we possibly can by putting realistic people in there, at least two people that make sense with each other in the line, such as such as Shelton and Jake, for example, you know, ODB and Bull. There's reasons for why we do it that way, but there's also times where we think, right, well, let's hold off on this person because we'd really like them to put with this person that we haven't got ink on paper with yet, so we'll hold them off a little bit longer. But it's like playing a fantasy wrestling game sometimes. Like a fantasy booking game. It's that cool, man. It is. It's part of the fun of it, though. As I speak for myself with that. Sean's tearing his hair out every time he has to go through that kind of stuff, but I love it.
Well, I have to say, you know, the promotional deal with Inside the Ropes, if it wasn't for Mark, it wouldn't have happened. So, you know, kudos for him for doing that. And also one of the thing is having Joe in the US a lot of times it's a lot easier for us to contact wrestlers. So, you know, besides the sculpting work and you know the 3D work and things like that, Joe also has a lot that he has to do for the brand. And, you know, Mark, obviously, you know, the tremendous paint work. Oh my God. Just look at the Taka Michinoku. Look at Dolores and Stones. You know, the Los Conquistadors, man, you know, you
those
saved those figures for crying out loud. You know, yeah, man. So without this team, I can say the KWK line would have been dead in the water. I'll be the first to say. So thank you guys. Thank you.
And
also,
just
show
to back that up. Sorry, I just wanted to say Sean told us that probably like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. We finished some hurdle that it was at the time that we were trying to sort out, and he said, you know, without you guys, this line would be completely dead. So sorry to ruin your heel persona, Sean, but even behind closed doors, he's pretty nice and thankful too.
All right, I'm starting to believe Mark and Joe here that you are a nice guy, Sean.
I'm still a dick. I'm still a dick.
No, and including Max too. I wish Max was still here, but including Max on the packaging side, you know, you got a good, solid team. I hope you're showing them in the paychecks. I hope you're showing them there too.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. No, you guys honestly do some great work. You guys are one of the better retro companies out there.
Oh, for sure.
And top of the line stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, between everything you showed off today, from what Mark showed off as far as prototypes, Joe, you showing off the sculpting and the 3D prints of everything, man. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it going. You guys are killing it right now. So
When I think with the jobs with Mantar and PN News as well, you guys really created that FOMO that people really don't want to miss out on future releases. So, I mean, that just speaks to the job that your team has done, jumping through so many hoops, clearing so many hurdles. Job well done, guys. Congratulations on all your success. I have no doubt it's going to continue moving forward as well.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Yeah,
I think,
that's awesome.
I think with that series 1, we know what we needed to tweak, and I think,
Oh yeah.
I think we've got it.
And you know what's
think we've got it.
and you know what's crazy is that series 1 so far is just it's crushing it. I mean, that Mantar head, I mean, it's just nothing like we've ever seen as far from a retro company as we've seen before. So I mean, it's
I mean, just look at this baby. Come on in.
exactly. Going back to the comic kids. So you guys are doing great. That wraps up Comic-Con, KWK Comic-Con, I'm going to call it 2024. For Sean, for Joe, for Mark, and for Scott over here, I am Jeff. Guys, great job. Keep it going. We will see you guys next year for the KWK 2025 edition, right, Sean?
Maybe earlier. We have a surprise in January.
Oh, I don't even know about this. We're fired.
Oh
Scott.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Apparently got the other
we
guys
have a
to
surprise.
host.
Wait, no. We have a surprise in January. We haven't told you guys about this yet because it may not be something very massive, but we have something planned with January. Because if you have a look at the lineups, the months, January was out. Initially, it was because to meet up with the factory timeline. But after discussion, we may have something planned. But we're gonna keep it quiet for now. But wait until later.
we'll call it the Royal Rumble KWK Comic-Con. Just saying. We want to thank everybody that has joined us via live on YouTube. Also want to thank the guest Megan, Renee Dupree for sending in the video, Mark, Joe, Max as well,
Too Cold Scorpio,
and Too Cold Scorpio, of course.
and Taka.
And Taka.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on this live.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.